Okay, cool. Yes, finally. Back to the future.
My headphones, but whatever. Let's go over it.
You're gonna be without headphones. You're gonna be a cool dude.
Yeah. Oh no, the headphones should be fine. Okay, so let's. Do you want to do the introduction of what you call it? This the break show.
We're gonna do the audio sample or something.
Welcome to the rekt.
Something like that.
This is Red Talk.
And somebody screaming. I think it was good enough for the introduction, man. Episode 1 is always grassroots, man.
Okay, so we're gonna say hi to Justin. Well, we're gonna call out Justin for not showing up. So you're missing out, man. We're gonna be becoming really wealthy after we polish.
Yeah, I'm thinking at least of surpassing Joe Rogan, man, because it's completely different, man. Echelon of things, man. So what's up? Are you in Panama?
Which one of the latest podcasts you've seen from him? The one with Elon Musk?
Yeah. You seen it?
I watched half of it, like halfway through it. There was a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It was good.
I think Joe Rogan was not as competent to question Elon Musk. I expected to have more like dreamy and technical questions like how are you gonna terraform Mars, but instead Joe Rogan would ask him like, what kind of shit do you post on Instagram and Twitter and shit, stuff like that. It's like, what do you think about flat earthers? Like, what can Elon Musk think about flat earthers? He doesn't think about them. This is a joke.
Yeah,
like,
he think about that shit.
Yeah. So I expected, but it's still fun. I think it gained like 7 million views in a few weeks. I think Joe Rogan made a bank with that thing. But hey, to invite Elon Musk, that's pretty cool actually. 3 hours conversation.
It was like 3 hours, yeah. It was a long. It was a good. I watched like half through it. I was kind of tired. I was like, I'm gonna watch later, but I never came back to it.
Yeah, it was one of those conversations when Joe Rogan talks more than actually his guests.
Yeah, it's true. And then, well, like what caught my attention was the fact that everybody. Well, he was saying that he couldn't stop. Like he said, Elon Musk said he couldn't stop. He would start working and he couldn't stop. Like something that he just continuously, he's always thinking about ideas. And my brother and I were like, holy crap, this guy, like, he's different, man. Like it's only a few people that can do the shit that he does. Like,
some people
extremely like diligent, and then
some people say that he's autistic, which is in a way might be true because I don't know how he does it to run
the way he speaks, like he behaves differently. He's not really eloquent. He speaks in a different manner, so that's why I wouldn't be surprised.
Very like analytical and robotic in a way, kind of like Mark Zuckerberg in a way. You know how Mark Zuckerberg is also a robot in a way.
He's pretty weird.
Yeah, he's a very analytical guy as well. I think that's one of the traits of like super highly productive people. I bet Jeff Bezos is also like that. I'm pretty sure he doesn't fuck around. He's like, hey, where's my margarita in the morning? You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he's like also like that.
Yeah, like Bezos. Yeah, Bezos is Bezos laughs super funny, man. Have you heard him laughing?
No.
Are you serious? Oh my god, I'm gonna show you. Hold on, let me share my screen and then you're gonna watch this. This is gonna be completely funny. Hold on, I'm just trying to.
How do you share a screen on Google Hangouts?
You go to the top right, on
gear.
And then, just go to the Google Hangouts page, and then to the top right it says there's like three little dots.
I see. Share screen. Yeah, I see it. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'll show you. Okay, this is
Oh, dude, you know that you only capture this part of the screen, right? Like, yeah, okay.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna lower this thing so I can show you.
But you can make it full screen.
Yeah, I can make it full screen. Oh, this thing?
Yeah.
How the hell?
I'm recording on mine. You have to stop this one and then re-record. I mean, it's fine.
So I'll stop this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Just click yeah. And then when you, yeah. You don't have to, yeah, start recording again. You can close that shit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it did record. Nice.
Is that how I sound? Is that me?
Wait. Okay, I'm confused. There's two screens. Oh, okay. You put that one? No,
Yeah.
okay, no, that was me.
That was you, yeah. Now close it. Now go to custom. You see custom in the bottom.
Wait.
Back,
Custom?
yeah. Click on that, and at the very top there's full screen.
Oh, okay.
Boom. Now it records all of that.
Oh, now I can record. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, and just click record on that thing, and you're good to go.
Oh, shit. Cool. Okay, let me show you freaking Jeff Bezos laughing.
Companies come and go. And the companies that are the shiniest and most important of any era, wait a few decades and they're gone. And your job is to make sure that you delay that date. I would love for it to be after I'm dead.
Anyway, there's like memes about this guy all the time because he laughs like super funny, man. like Jeff Bezos annoying laugh.
I was very, very lucky because in fourth grade, which for me would have been about 1974, I had access to a mainframe computer. There were no personal computers.
I think he's only talking on this auto here.
And there was a good choice. If I couldn't get Spock or Kirk, I would take the computer.
Anyways, you get the point.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy how a guy who loves books and decided to sell books became the richest guy in the world. What does it say?
Man. Oh yeah. Okay, so here, that's why I'm freaking like telling you, man. I've developed this freaking theory, and because I started looking at all these guys, and I was looking at Jeff Bezos, and just like you said, he's selling books, and it was like he became so wealthy selling books, and people don't understand, man. It's like there's there's this thing. I was like trying to understand why, like what is common among like, the technology companies, like the predominant technology companies in the US. So I developed this this little theory. I'm gonna show it to you right now. Hold on. It's gonna make this big here.
Okay, you said it's based on a network value, right?
Yeah,
Disruptive
yeah, I'm gonna explain it here. Theory. Here. Okay. So this is an introduction to the browser theory. So okay, this is okay. Let me read it to you.
Okay.
An introduction to browser or explorer theory. Okay, I believe the nature of man is to explore the universe and its many complex dimensions. We have people who will dedicate an entire life on the study or search of X, or people that simply like to explore X. On Sundays at the mall, or families that like to stay over the weekend searching for X type of entertainment at home. So what does all the FANGs have in common? They are all some sort of browser. Let me explain. So the FANGs are like Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google. Okay, so not until the 1400s, people were limited to the amount of information that they could find. Information was suppressed by the church, elite, or the government. The printing press helped few people spread their ideas, and a lot of other people to explore new ideas. So when the printing press came out, people were allowed to explore new ideas, right? So that was one of the biggest breakthroughs, man. In the last freaking like 1,000 years. But then not until 1890s, people could only explore the world with a horse. The invention of the automobile helped everyone transport and explore the world in a much faster way. Henry Ford managed to reproduce these explorer machines much faster and at a cheaper price. This helped him change the course of history. So yeah, that's pretty much like if you think about it, like a car allows you to explore. So explores on a much faster rate.
Yeah.
So like anybody that builds these explorer machines are like back in the 1900s and the early 1900s became like multi-millionaires.
Yeah, actually it's funny because I just got from Savannah. That's where he started his Ford company, man. I just been to Savannah on the East Coast, so I browsed through it. Pretty cool. Well, continue.
Okay, so then not until 1900s people could only find browser. Okay, hold on. Not until the 1900s people could only find entertainment on the theater. So that was like browsing, so people only found it on the theater, circus, or coliseum. So any kind of entertainment was found on those three. But this was all changed by radio and TV. People can all now explore any type of entertainment or information through those means. So in the 1900s, so you can see like television and radio were big breakthroughs. So then not until 1981, Intel, when Intel created the first microprocessor, all computers were used as an extension of data storage by enterprises or organizations. So companies will store information, use it as a record keeping, of whatever they're doing, and they will have access to explore and study this info whenever they want it. The idea that people could have their own personal computer was something of sci-fi. People were able to store their own data, business or personal related data, and access it, or in other words, browse through it. So like you think about like when the computer came out, now people are able to pretty much like store their data and explore it. So like pictures, video, like documents. So you store all these data and then you're able to access it and browse through it again. So the computers are like an extension of that. So it's like in a sense, it's like a browser of all the history that you have created throughout the days and years. So then came the internet. People were able to access the internet through program extensions known as browser, like AOL or Internet Explorer. These were the first generation browsers. The second generations came to be known as Google, Yahoo, Ask.com. So pretty much like the internet came up, so you can upload anything into it. It's like a cloud, just like a computer. But now it's like it has well, now you're putting the what do you call the theory, the Metcalfe's theory of network effects. So then you have people putting ideas. So the network effects, so it makes it more valuable. Makes all these network way more valuable. So that's why people wanted to explore it. So how did they explore it? They created AOL or Internet Explorer, which are called browsers, internet browsers. So then this AOL became one of the biggest companies in the world. So then after that, the second generation of browsers was like Google, Yahoo, Ask.com, where when you go to a website and then you click, hey, I'm looking for specific words like I don't know, sandwich or cars. Then it will specifically find it for you. So then 2.5 generation, in my opinion, will have been Reddit, which allows users to put their own content and be found in an interface more similar to normal pages as opposed to today's apps. So when you go to Reddit, you can post whatever you want, and then people click on it, and it looks more like a regular page. It's more of an extension of a different way of searching information. So I call it a 2.5 generation of browsers on the internet. But then came Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, which initially were apps to find and browse people that we knew. Then it turned into a place or sharing ideas content, into a place of sharing ideas and content. And now it has morphed into a new way of exploring the internet, all encapsulated on one app. Like you think about it, Facebook, you're like looking only for friends. Oh yeah, like I want to find a friend from high school and all this. Then you start looking for ideas. There's like there's groups for any idea. You can find crypto related group, any kind of group.
Yeah.
And then now you can find like all kinds of content, man. You can look at like video content, like news content, any kind of content. So like Facebook has become a way of browsing through the internet or through the ideas of the internet.
Yeah.
People now you don't need to make a website. You can go to Facebook and make a group a page, which is pretty much a website. A website, and then people can find you right away.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for a website or anything. So it's a different way of exploring the internet. So then so you find a different. Okay, so So how is this connected to the biggest internet companies of today? Now I'm making the case. So Facebook is a browser to find people on all. So the biggest companies right now are FANG. So Facebook, Apple, Netflix, and Google. So Facebook is a browser to find people and all this stuff I mentioned above. Apple is a company that has arguably one of the best experiences of hardware or software used to store information and to browse through the internet. So that's why people keep buying Apple products, because they love how the interface is, like how you can browse through the internet and do so many things and store your data and whatever. Amazon started as a browser to find books. Now it's about to take the world of commerce, man. So when you look at Jeff Bezos, he said he wanted to make the biggest bookstore in the world, because when you go to a bookstore, a normal bookstore, you're limited to the amount of units. So he's like, I want to pick the biggest bookstore in the world. And books, everybody, you find books everywhere. So he became the browser of books. But now this is like, he's gone so big that he sells everything and anything he wants. Then Netflix was initially designed to explore new movies, but now has become one of the biggest entertainment titans, which is arguably about to kill cable TV.
And Hollywood.
What's that?
And Hollywood as well, man. They just built a huge building inside, like in center of Hollywood, man. They're shooting their own movies, and right now they're like HBO. Like there is how is it called? Like an awards. I think it's Emmy Awards. It's for TV series, and the channel HBO, right? So HBO has been winning those Emmy Awards for TV series for 10 years, and last year was the first year when Netflix actually won over HBO. So Netflix is killing not only TV, but it's killing Hollywood movie production as well. Like they're shooting movies cheaper and more. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and how did it start? It started as a browser.
Yeah.
So you started as a browser to search content.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
It started as
you're paying a monthly fee to search content. First it started as a renting movie.
Yeah, it started. Yeah, it's a competitor for Blockbuster. It's easier and everything. Yeah.
So then the next one is like Spotify. Spotify is like in that category, and then Google that we know. Anybody can search stuff through Google. So then how about other companies? Microsoft is a software company that allowed anyone to store info and allow this user to go back and explore this information. So then Oracle is the same as Microsoft, but tailored for businesses. Oracle is huge. Alibaba was designed to allow Western clients to browse through Chinese companies and to purchase their goods and services. Tencent is the owner of WeChat. WeChat is like WhatsApp.
Chinese, yeah.
Not to anybody. Well, that's a little bit. That theory is a little bit different. But eBay and PayPal, they were designed for people to browse goods for goods online and to be able to purchase them. So eBay and PayPal are a huge. Uber is a software that is more convenient than owning a car or taking the public transit in order to explore the world. So you go when you open Uber, you're browsing. You're looking for someone to allow you to browse through the real world. Yeah. So you're browsing for cabbies or a guy that was gonna give you a ride. Airbnb, a more personalized and unique way of exploring the world. And then I go on and on. And there's a different unicorn in Colombia too. It's called Rappi, which is like Uber Eats. And then it allows you to look for food. And this guy became the first 1 billion company or the first unicorn in Colombian history, man.
Nice.
So then I bring the case of I'll show you. Let me share my screen here.
Bro, is that an introduction to a white paper for Elastos browser? Tell me the truth, man. Yes, what's the deal with Elastos?
Yeah.
Nice.
So what is the deal with Elastos? In my mind, bro. So Elastos is building the infrastructure of the decentralized internet. I believe Elastos is better built and better built throughout than Ethereum. So I believe we have a unique opportunity to start building a simple and easy to use browser that can be well positioned for the upcoming crypto revolution. So yeah, so that's where like this whole thing came in. Is like I started like looking at what's the next frontier of browsers, or where is it gonna be? Where where can you put your money into? If there's anything related like that in crypto, where would it be? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So then I've been exploring that idea, and then for me, I don't know. There's like a combination. It could be like I don't know. It's kind of complicated because I've been talking about this with my one friend from Panama, and we've been looking at where our crypto is gonna go in the next like 5 to 10 years, and where is the most traction gonna come from?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like expecting people to make the apps and all that kind of deal, and we're like, I don't know. I don't know if that's where the most of the traction will come. I think most of the volume will come from software that normal people will not use, companies will use. And I'm talking about like data, like the transfer of data from companies.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have a big issue. Like all these companies are building data, they collect data, and they don't want to share this data because they don't want to compromise the data of their clients. So a few companies are trying to build a protocol that allows the transfer of data from one company to the other. Like one of them was one of the first ones that was trying to do that was Factum, but they haven't succeeded. So then there's like Bain Network and then Cyberbain, and they're saying that they can allow the transfer of data. So by allowing the transfer of data, we have like these highways of data transferring from one way to the other. So then whoever builds well, not whoever, but before I go into this, if you look at Google hasn't developed anything on crypto related, but they came out with they call it the Ethereum analyzer, so crypto analyzer. Let me show you. These guys came out. You gotta look at what Google does, man. So this came out recently. This came out in August. It's called the Ethereum in BigQuery, a public data set for smart contract analytics.
What?
See, this is the key, analytics.
Mm-hmm.
So these people talk about like I don't know, they're analyzing like Google and Ethereum smart contracts, and then they go on and on. But then they're trying to map out this entire thing. They're trying to understand this thing, right? So that's where I think like this crypto is gonna play a huge role. Is like if crypto solves the issue of interconnecting the crypto world with the real world, and that's through the use of oracles. So if the crypto community can manage to create an oracle and connect everything through the real world and the crypto world, then we're gonna see a skyrocketing on data analytics.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where, so Google is currently doing that. That's what Google is not developing anything. They're just analyzing all this data. They're saying, what the hell is going on? So that's where I think the money is gonna be made out. So whoever comes out with the better like solution of browsing or analyzing this data, I think that's where the money is at. So there's like only like 2 projects working on it. It's only Bain Network and Cyberbain, and no one else is working on this. So that's why I'm keep an eye on this, guys. Also,
so can you give me an example of what kind of data they should, like if you, let's say In the example Amazon, for example, the client is the person who wants to buy books, and Amazon provides the browser for books, right? In the example of Uber, the client wants to go somewhere, and Uber provides the browser of people who can get that person there. So in the example of crypto, tell me, like, describe the client and describe the solution for the client.
Okay, so yeah, so in that sense, we have to talk about oracles. Mm-hmm. So what happened is like when you look at the concept of the smart contract. So the smart contract can only is the written code, and it can only interact with a user.
Yeah.
But it's not interacting with anything. None of the financial like entities or anything that in the real world is not interacting with anything of that, because it needs an oracle. That's what they call it. That's what linked chain link is working. You know, chain link. Mm-hmm. For Link. Mm-hmm. Link is working oracles and Eternity, Augur. They're trying to build oracles. So when you read about oracles, what oracles do is like they're unifying the real world information, transferring to the crypto, and then the smart contracts will be able to interact with the real world. Mm-hmm. So I'll give you an example. I'll let me share the screen.
But who owns that big data though?
Okay, so hold on. Yeah, I'll get to there. So like when you go to like Link. Okay.
Hey man, this guy was missing you.
Oh, the little dog. What's going on? Oh, nice.
Say hi to Johan.
Hello.
Hey.
So when you look at Chainlink, this is what it says. Your smart contracts connected to real world data, events, mm-hmm. payments. Mm-hmm. So right now, to visualize it, they see right now we have all the smart contracts here, mm-hmm. but they're not interacting with anybody. They cannot interact with the real world. The real world is Swift, PayPal, other companies, but they cannot interact. So Chainlink is creating this oracle and saying, okay, we're gonna connect you, right? Mm-hmm. They're becoming the highway of connectivity between smart contracts and the real world. So, in other words, oracles are going to become more important than smart contracts themselves, mm-hmm. because the smart contracts cannot live without the oracles, but oracles can live without some smart contracts. So we have Ethereum smart contract. We have like other 20 different companies doing smart contracts. Mm-hmm. So like, Ethereum smart contracts cannot live without the oracles. Oracles are going to become the next like $1 billion, like I don't know, like the next Ethereums are gonna come out of oracles, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm putting money into smart oracle related technology.
Yeah. So in this diagram, Elastos would be in the center, and the browser that you want to create would be that Chainlink instead of Chainlink Oracle, right?
No. Yeah, no. The thing is like the browser. No, Elastos is different. Elastos will be a different playfield because Elastos is building a completely different operating system. So Elastos will be here. Yeah. But what I mean, you're gonna be able to build a decentralized app on Elastos. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is like I would like to, if I was gonna build something on Elastos, it would be like a decentralized browser, like the one company that your buddy built. Trusted Wallet.
Trust Wallet, yeah.
Yeah. So Trust Wallet. When you go to Trust Wallet, they're a gateway. They're a browser as well. There's wallet. They're a gateway and a browser. So when you go into the browser, it says Trust that browser, fully functional Web3 browser that can be used to interact with any decentralized application. See, mm-hmm. So if I was gonna build something on Elastos, I'll be building something really similar to Trust Wallet, mm-hmm. in the sense that you can browse. Literally, you can browse through all the decentralized apps, and in a really easy manner. So Trust Wallet is like Google in the sense of when it first came out, you can find websites.
Yeah.
And then it has it's a small bank too.
Yeah.
There's small wallet. So that's why these guys are like, look at this. Trust Wallet, Trust Dapps Marketplace. You can find all the CryptoKitties. You can interact with them right away.
It's a browser, yeah.
You don't need to go into the internet and type. Everything you can find in here. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, I always building a browser. Like I don't know, my idea is like if I was gonna build something on Elastos, it would be the first app browser of Elastos. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to information, databases, the transfer of data, like what I'm saying is like Chainlink. If Chainlink becomes the highway system of this, they're gonna be able to analyze all the data too. So they're gonna become the browser of the transfer of data. So these guys could become the next huge thing, or whoever comes up with the Oracle is gonna be big. So there's those guys that are gonna be connecting the smart contracts to the real world, but then there's gonna be these guys. I'm gonna show you right now. Cyberbane. So Cyberbane is worth a 22 million market right now, and these guys, they're trying to solve the issue of data transfer because what oracles do is like they're helping one aspect of data, which is pretty much transaction, mostly transaction and like anything that has to do with smart contracts. So that's like a limited amount of data that you can transfer from one place to the other. But Cyberbane is interconnecting the data that runs the world. Pretty much they want to allow any company to transfer data from one place to the other. So databases are the backbone of the information age. The time has come to pull them to the blockchain. So what the issue is, like currently companies like Amazon and like Amazon or like Google or where any company, once they get like data, they don't want to share it. And this data gets collected in silos. So Amazon has their own silo of information. The same goes with Instagram. All of them have information, but they capture and they keep it in a silo. And this information, the minute it gets transferred into the silo, the information loses value because it's not getting transferred more. It's like tokens. You know, when a token doesn't get transferred too often, it's losing value.
Yeah.
So that's called money velocity. It's got money velocity or token velocity. Somebody token velocity. So some people have talked about this. It's like token velocity is total transaction value divided by the average network value. This means the average network value is equal to the velocity divided by the total transaction value. So the token velocity, the more transfer it has, the better velocity it has. But when it doesn't have that many transfers, so when somebody brings out like an ICO, they have a shitty token and nobody transfers the token, well, that gets reflected on the token. So nobody wants to trade it, nobody wants to use it, nobody thinks it's worth it.
Yeah. In other words, token represents the value of the network. If network doesn't value anything, is not valuable, then token represents nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the issue with data is like companies like Amazon is collecting all this data, but this data is getting collected and it stays there. It doesn't move at all. So Cyberbane is saying, listen, you can transfer your data through my net. So you put it on the blockchain, and then once you put it on the blockchain, you're gonna get paid. Like any time, like let's say I have a company and I'm trying to do analytics on Amazon. Their customers and their buying behaviors. So I could go into Cyberbane, check out the data that Amazon has put in Cyberbane in the blockchain. They clean all the data and they encrypt it and then I pay a fee. So I take the Cyberbane tokens and I pay a fee to be able to see the data. So then companies would be able to transfer data to one place to the other, and this is the first time in history that will be able to happen because since the internet was created, everybody's storing their data. So what's the catch for Amazon? Well, Amazon will be able to increase the value network on their data because the minute they start transferring this data is people are gonna see it and increase their value of it because they're utilizing their data. So all their data, all this data that gets collected and loses value right away is gonna start getting a new valuation when they get put in the what do you call it, the blockchain. So we're gonna have a new market. So we're gonna see the market of data that gets collected and not put into function. So this data loses value all the time, and the data that comes to Cyberbane and then gives valuations right away because you're gonna see the issue to understand is like there's one issue when you're trying to buy data from a company, you don't know if the data is new or the data is old or the data is fake. When you put in the blockchain, you're gonna be able to say, okay, this data was put in the blockchain January 1st, then it's not fake data, so they're not selling you fake shit. Then they're pretty much raising the standards of data or capturing, or whatever you want to call it. So this data, like Cyberbrain and BBN, are trying to change the way data is seen and trying to raise the value of data. So this is like a new frontier of pretty much the Internet of Things and big data. So nobody has not a single company in the centralized world has been able to do this because they couldn't build trust. But these people are betting that with the blockchain they're going to be able to do it. So there's like two different like data browsers in a sense. So Cyberbrain will become a data browser if they manage to execute on the idea that they're saying. And then
yeah, go ahead.
The data of the world.
So in order to get the data from Amazon, they have to get a contract with Amazon first. So they have to persuade all these big data companies in order so they can share their data, right?
Yes.
It's pretty tough, man. Well, as of now, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Instagram, all those databases, they use them for the marketing tools. When you run ads, you actually use their data to create a target audience and behaviors of the audience, so you can analyze that. So what kind of information is that though in Amazon? That's what kind of I don't understand.
I'm not a company, but I wouldn't know, but like, to be honest, like I haven't done that much research in regards to which data would be available for like Cyberbrain or for any other companies. But like, man, when you look at Jeff Bezos, like his interview, like I'm not a data analytics guy, but like Jeff Bezos, he talks about data, like all the stuff that he cares about is data to be able to resell to people.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, so he understands the patterns of buying and selling
behaviors. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's how they work.
Like that. But for example, like, so yeah, I'm not a data expert.
Yeah.
Like when you go to Banyan Network, which is the same thing as Cyberbrain, in a sense, they're doing pretty similar projects. They're creating the global data fusion network. So here they talk about data silos, the concentration of data and not getting transferred. When you look at the guys, these guys are making one of the founders. These are all the founders, and this is one of the guys. One of the founders. He's one of the founders of UnionPay Smart, which is bigger than Visa in China. So these people know something about data. These guys deal with data every day, man.
Yeah.
So these guys know there's a market for data, and then they see all these billions of bits of data that are created every single day, and they lose value right away because they're not getting transferred. Nobody's analyzing this data. Nobody's playing with this data. So they're saying we can make a protocol that is that people can explore this data, and then the data is not compromised. From the company.
Oh, I see. I guess the selling point is that Amazon kind of can lend out their data to Banyan Network and they make money of it. And since with blockchain you kind of can authenticate who is the owner of the data, that becomes not a trust issue because the owner of the data will get paid for sure since it's blockchain based.
Exactly. That's pretty much what it is. Yeah. So that's why I'm getting kind of bullish on these companies, and nobody's talking about big data. Nobody's talking about like how to fix the issue with these data silos. So there's only like 2 companies that I know of working on this. So that's why I'm bullish on those. And like if you look at the market cap of Banyan, it's $3 million market cap, dude. $3 million, and the team is like top notch of China. Like,
yeah, that guy, especially from China, yeah, it's crazy. Well, all of them, I guess, Chinese. But anyways, it's interesting because, sorry to interrupt you, but because like a lot of tech companies, their value is based on the data. They might work in a zero profit, right? Even in negative profit, but they gather all that data from people, and that's how they evaluated that. But
think about it. This data is just getting collected and not moving around.
Not moving because a lot of a lot of tech companies, a lot of tech companies, they have that data, but they don't know how to profit off that data. So they just sitting like these banks of information, they're sitting on that data. And what they need to do is to create a marketplace so advertisers can come in and use that data. But it's pretty hard to create a marketplace. If you think of it, there's only few companies that have the marketplace for advertisers, which is Facebook, Google, and Amazon. That's like 3 companies that marketers use right now. So other, like Instagram right now is a part of Facebook, of course. Yeah. But for example, Twitter data, is there a Twitter advertising ads management? I think not, but there's no Twitter ads management. Or other companies that create like Snapchat ads management, there's nothing like that. So if they can like, not to think about how to create a marketplace, but just outsource the data and just get paid for renting the data out, then that makes sense. Yeah, now I understand that. Yeah, now it makes sense, man.
Yeah, exactly. So what they do is like put the data, and then so they're gonna be they're gonna make a freaking like fence between the people that are now using these protocols. So their data is gonna be worth like value less.
Mm-hmm.
People that differentiate themselves because they're putting their data into the blockchain. So then this freaking data will go up in value right away.
Yeah.
And so then people are gonna be like questioning, holy crap, this is the way of the future. Like,
yeah.
You want to have your data on the blockchain. So that's why, like, when I look at Ethereum and all these companies, man, these companies cannot scale, man. If they were gonna try to scale with all these billions of like data bits every day, they're gonna be plugging up the networks. That's why, like, I laugh of all these people, because like when you look at how Ethereum was built, they have issues with CryptoKitties, man. That's nothing, dude. Like,
yeah.
Nothing. Like, so like there's other companies saying, no, we want to specialize on data transfer. So I'm looking at that, like, well, these guys might have a good chance of building it. And then the team of Benny Network is like top freaking like world class engineers from Union Pay, and they didn't do an ICO. They didn't call it an ICO, but they call it something else. They were like giving gifts or something, and they got money back. But the thing is, like, charity event. They only have like, it's a $3 million market cap company. They already have a client. They're in profit. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, you look at how many companies are in profit in cryptos? Nobody, man. Nobody's freaking profit right now.
Yeah.
So these guys are doing something that nobody has done. So that's why I'm like I'm really careful right now. I'm looking at where the companies are going. A lot of companies are like promising, like saying, oh, we promise this and that, but they don't have any products, man. And like the next bull market, we're gonna see the differentiation with the real professional companies and the companies that they want to be companies, but they don't have anything.
So are you loading up on Banyan or what, man?
Oh yeah, dude. I already have a lot of money.
Yeah. That's cool, man. And what about Elastus? Tell me more about the browser. So what's the like?
Okay, let me show you about Elastus.
What about that 100-something project? There's like a 65-something project and a 100-something project. It's like a community for Elastus developers.
Okay. Yeah, I'll show you what it is. Okay. So, okay, where is it? There's a Elastus Medium. Okay. I don't think it's this one, but I'll have to. Okay, the Elastus community. It's just like there's a really. Let me send it to you. Let me find the.
Yeah.
An introduction of 5 minutes. I don't want to.
No, that's fine. But what about like the browser? So are you trying to create a browser that will be dealing with that big data, or is that
I'm more in a browser like finding the apps. The Elastus protocol, because I believe Elastus is gonna be a Ethereum killer.
Yeah.
Ethereum.
So it's like a safe wallet, but for Elastus, basically.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. So exactly. Say like the trust wallet of your body.
Trust wallet, yeah.
For Ethereum, build something similar to Elastus.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Is that proof of? It's both, right? Proof of work and proof of delegated proof of stake as well. I think.
It's proof of stake and proof of work. Yeah.
For both of them. Okay, I see.
Yeah, it's a hybrid. They have proof of work because they're gonna be migrating their mining into Bitcoin. So all the Bitcoin miners are gonna be able to mine.
They're just gonna hop on.
at the same
Okay.
time.
Okay, I see.
So they're gonna get a higher hash rate
Hash
than
rate.
Ethereum after December, man.
Dude, it's weird.
More powerful than Ethereum, like in security.
Yeah. I remember in the beginning of the year we talked about how proof of work will be, and even Vitalik talk about how proof of work would be gradually replaced by proof of stake because it's power consuming and whatnot. But I don't see it, I don't see letting go whatsoever. I think it's becoming even bigger and bigger. Like proof of work.
I guess, like it's just like all the hash power is from all the hash rate. I mean, it's from Bitcoin, so that's why everybody wants to piggyback on Bitcoin some way or the other. That's what Elastic is doing, which is a really smart way of securing the network, right? So
yeah,
that's why I find it like it's interesting. So I'll show you here. This is the understanding Elastic in under 5 minutes. So what is Elastic? So they compare it to the traditional internet.
It's 11 hours.
So it's pretty much like this is the decentralized operating system of the internet, like its own thing. So here there's like a comparison. I was talking to my developer and he was saying that there was one. Okay, it's through the story you can do that now apparently on a traditional internet, but like overall it just shows that it's interoperability, so it allows the communication between apps, one to the other. So that will be really helpful for machine learning here.
Yeah.
Like currently, like for example, internet websites don't communicate with one another. So you will be able to do this with Elastic. The app will be able to communicate with one to the other. No issue. So then it's like bringing higher levels of interconnectivity. So that's bringing like opening the floodgates to different ideas and options that haven't been possible before. So like it's like here's like a small introduction of how they compare, and then so what are the value propositions? They're a reliable, secure network. So this like for example the drawings here is like they're saying there's 2 layers. So this is the first layer, then the second layer, and then so there's a reliable, secure network, one-time app development, privacy protection, safe and secure, immutable. So the quality of trust is passed down from Bitcoin blockchain to Elastic mentioned to various Elastic sidechains through merger mining Bitcoin. See, so this is the huge selling point, man. Like no project has been able to pull this off. So merging mining with Bitcoin, they're gonna be huge. Also, the runtime sandbox, they're gonna be able to do runtime sandbox. So there's not gonna be DDoS attacks on the network. You know how like always like when there's DDoS attacks on websites, that's gonna be impossible on the network here. So it's more secure. The information produced by every website is not going to be compromised. But like like how the iCloud got hacked and all that stuff, that's not going to be possible on this. So they're making a complete different protocol, man. They're building a whole like operating system, a different operating system. The guy that's the leader developer or the founder he worked for Microsoft for like 20 years, man.
Yeah. I seen his interview that you posted with that guy.
Yeah. So like for example, like here, these are the underlying technologies and the different apps. So my idea was like to make if this is the new frontier of the internet and if this is gonna be bigger than Ethereum and who knows, well, like building a browser to explore the apps, I think will be the first step to do something.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So then you'll be able to open the Elastic browser. See, you open Elastic. It's like Elastic browser, and then you find this, and then within there you find this is like a Play Store, and then you find all the apps, right?
Yeah.
So there's gonna be so many apps. It's gonna be crazy. So like there's gonna be somebody will find out a way to organize this in a better manner.
That would be Netflix of the apps.
So the Elastos ecosystem so far, but they're still like in baby steps. They're still so new. Like they have like nothing. Like they have a lot of going on, but they're like behind. Like they launched in January 2018. It's been since 2015.
And what language do you have to use to program that? Because if it works on, you can use Solidity as well, right?
Multi-language support. Right?
Yeah, Java.
They have I think Java script. They have like PHP and I think they have they probably have a few. I don't know how many experience.
Because what I'm thinking is like, just imagine you start building the wallet, right? Like a trust wallet, but for Elastos, and then Victor, the guy who created trust wallet, is gonna be like, oh, let me just put it on Elastos as well. Yeah, and
yeah, it's true. Yeah,
and you're just gonna waste that time. Yeah. Sure. That would suck. Should we cut out this part from the podcast?
That's a good that's possible. Yeah, that's about that.
Yeah,
it's good. That's why it's good talking to people. They always give you a different approach. I never thought about that. But, my ideas was to like I'll show you, like MetaMask. It's just like MetaMask is like those are the only MetaMask is the only app that most people use on Ethereum. So MetaMask helps you to just send and play with Ether is much easier.
Yeah, I'm using that.
What's that?
I'm using MetaMask. In fact, the Academy tokens that you transferred are sitting on my MetaMask right now.
Yeah. So Fortis, Fortis is a new protocol or a new gateway, and everybody says that it's better than MetaMask. So and I try to use it, and it's actually pretty cool. So Fortis is for Ethereum, for startups, for Ethereum, for enterprises, for entrepreneurs, it's for developers. So these guys is a group of Jewish guys, and then it's two guys who developed this thing. I've been reading about it. A lot of people love it, and it's really not well known at all, man. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, these Fortis or MetaMask is like the idea that I was thinking, and then.
So Fortis is like MetaMask, is like the same thing, basically.
It's almost the same thing. Yeah, it's almost the same thing. It's just a better interface.
Yeah. So it's like a browser for my Ether wallet as well, right? Because MetaMask that's what it is, browser for my Ether wallet.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So MetaMask, exactly. So this, MetaMask is like that, but I haven't. Fortis is like so let me show you. Fortis is more of a gateway system, but you can integrate it anywhere. But no, this is the wrong account. Hold on.
Dude, so Elastos basically is doing what XBI was supposed to do last year, right?
XBI?
Yeah, remember XBY, sorry. Remember that XBY wanted to create a Ethereum like network, but to support like different languages. That was like the whole idea. XBY.
Why?
No, XBBs and boy. XBY. Extra bytes. Yeah. But I guess they're still waiting on their patent. Everybody's like forgot about them, but they're still waiting on their patent.
Yeah, I totally forgot about actually.
Crazy, man. Like,
but Elastos, dude, Elastos has like everything built already. Like, these people are launching. They're legit as hell. I don't know. I've been reading a lot about it, so like, I'm kind of bullish. I could be a little bit biased, but I send articles to a few developers already. And then to Justin Peter too, I'll send it to him. Mm-hmm. So, and then I'm trying to get second opinions on it, and everybody's liking it. So I don't know, but yeah, man, I don't know. It's I think it's enough talking about cryptos.
So wait, just to sum up, so you think that Banyan network is going to take off Elastos?
Whoever watches this video and then they care. So Banyan network.
Yeah. summing up, the best shit to invest into in 2019: Banyan Network.
Banning errors. Cyberbrain are actually Cyberbrain is way behind Banyan on development.
Yeah.
Their market cap is even higher. So
Yeah.
like these people are like probably 8 months away from launching their mainnet. BBN already launched their mainnet as we're only 3 million market, 3 million. They already are way up more advanced, 4 million, and they have already what do you call it? These guys have a client working product. The mainnet was launched already. They're profitable. Maybe they're profitable. I think they mentioned. And they're way ahead of these Cyberbrain guys. But yeah, those two projects I'll be putting money on. And then Link or any
as an oracle between the between the blockchain.
Augur is not actually not they couldn't come up with whatever they promised. So I wouldn't be buying Augur, but it's really undervalued right now. So if oracles, if anything comes, if for example if Link pulls out the whatever they promise on oracles, and this goes into like becoming the next like Ethereum, well, you're gonna see Augur skyrocketing too. There's Augur, and then there's Eternity.
What's Eternity?
This was shielded by Surge all the time, and I never bought anything. But yeah, Eternity is good too.
Why is it? What does it do?
The Oracle too.
Oh, okay.
Oracles. So anything Oracle related products.
Surge is showing it.
He was showing it, yeah. I think there's Eternity and there's another one. I forgot the other one. I see Oracle. The Oracle connects to the world too. They're trying to do a lot of things at the same time. It's just the issue is like a lot of these products they want to do smart contract. They want to do so many things. Like I try to stick around with only one. Like if a protocol is trying to do only one thing good, like Nano, they were become really good at payment systems.
Yeah.
So like Banyan is only vertical on data. Cyberbrain is only vertical on data too. So I'm trying to focus on that. There's another one called data. Actually, it's called data. This one, stream data. These guys are trying to play with data too. So like I'm trying to find the data related protocols that are going to change the world, and that current companies like Google, Amazon are not going to be able to build or are going to be years behind their technology. That's when you see acquisitions. So I want. That's what I'm trying to bet on, possible acquisitions or possible plays for these big companies that they're going to be like, holy crap, we're like 5 years behind on technology for these guys. We just want to buy them, or we just buy their tokens. And start buying the hell out of it. So that's what I'm looking into. But this, like this company won't get like massive traction probably not into like 2-3 years down the road. But I think it's a good investment. I'm buying right now on fair market. Next year market's gonna come back. So yeah, just to recap, those are the companies of data.
Cool. That might be a task for Crypto World actually. We have like almost 200 people there. If 400 eyes would be looking for data related crypto, that would be much easier to swift through.
Probably these fuckers are always waiting for me to say something, man.
Yeah. So when do I buy? Johan, when do I buy?
They want to be fed, you know? They want to be fed.
Yeah, well, yeah, because, actually, dude, yeah. Well, what you and Sam are doing right now in the crypto world is basically a charity event all the time.
So, you guys want to show you my house?
Yeah. So what's up? Tell me about the life in Panama, dude. That looks like floor to ceiling windows. That looks pretty nice, man.
Okay, hold on. Let me show you my house, and then we'll talk about Panama. Okay, let me turn on the lights, man.
Do you live with your brother?
Yeah, I live with my brother, yeah.
Cool. Is that a 2-bedroom plus the living room?
So I'll show you. There's only two. I don't know if you see it.
2 apartments on the floor?
Yeah, 2 apartments per floor. Yeah, exactly.
Did you buy this apartment?
No, man. I just
renting. Can you buy it with crypto?
No, I wouldn't buy real estate here.
No, why not?
It's like the market is too small. Like the country is too small. So like you're at the mercy of whoever is the next fool to buy a real estate. It's not like California. There's like 30, 40 million here. There's like there's like I don't know, like probably 2 million people in the city or less, and then most people come here and then they establish their banking and get out. So like I don't know, it's
no liquidity.
I would rather buy like in Portugal or something.
Okay.
Anyways, this is my room, but I have one. Like if I go closer, the sign is gonna drop because this is built with cement.
Okay.
So like the Wi-Fi doesn't go anywhere.
Can create a bunker.
This is the kitchen.
Nice.
And then there's one room over there for the cleaning lady. I don't know if you see that.
Damn.
The fridge.
That's pretty spacious.
So yeah, cleaning lady could come in, and then if she wants to live here, she has her own room and her own bathroom.
Nice. Is that where I'm gonna stay, man? When I'm gonna come to your place?
No. And then this is my brother's room.
Okay.
This is the guest room here.
Oh damn, fancy.
So this is the guest room. And then there's 3 rooms plus the cleaning lady room.
Wow.
And then
How much?
this is her
How much is the rent?
$1,550.
$1,500? Wow.
Look, this is my books.
Nice.
I got a freaking silver 100-ounce silver.
Nice.
First I had one of the first purchases of silver.
Did you buy gold? Did Peter Schiff persuade you to buy gold, man?
Yeah, he convinced me back in the day. Again, this is my office. This is my brother's office here.
Wow.
And then this is gonna be my racing station, my virtual reality racing station.
Dope, man.
I have a Vive Pro over there.
Oh damn.
Virtual reality, yeah. So then we're just buying the rest of the things, and then we're gonna go to Florida and pick them up.
Yeah, by the desk setup, you can tell who is the day trader and who is not.
Yeah, look, this is the city right there.
Nice. Panama. So that's the city of Panama, right? Inside the Panama country.
Yeah, dude, but I mean, just life here is expensive, man. More expensive than in Canada.
Really?
In dollars. Yes. Well, like buying food. Some food is more expensive. Some food is cheaper, but overall, food is more expensive here than in Canada, man. Surprisingly, it is.
Wow.
Way, man. So like, food is more expensive, but like bars and like if you go to a nice bar, like there's a place called forget, it's called Panama Viejo. I think it's Viejo. So it's like the old town of Panama, and that's where all the bars and clubs are. And you go there, and man, like if you were gonna do bottle service and stuff, like I think it's like probably as expensive as LA, man.
Really?
Yes, it's insane. So there's a lot of people here with like obviously they bring money from different countries, but there's a lot of Venezuelans that have moved here. Like freaking, like there's 2 types of Venezuelans. Venezuelans that are actually 3 types. There's the really poor that move here, but then they're not allowed to come to Panama anymore. They told them to get visas. Then there's the wealthy, non-corrupt, wealthy people that actually made their money legit in Venezuela and then came here and bought properties. And then they're corrupt Venezuelans from the government that fucking are funding millions of dollars in buying real estate here. So this property is owned by a Venezuelan family. I don't know if it is the corrupt ones or the legit ones, but a lot of these Venezuelans own like real estate here, man. So like there's a lot of money laundering from Venezuela here, man. It's crazy. So yeah, like you go to a club and then clubs are expensive. Like drinks are not too expensive, but like if you wanted to get a table, it's fucking expensive, man. And then it could be a Wednesday. Like man, went on a Wednesday night. I think it was Wednesday, yes. And then they let this Colombian chick walk into the out of the bar, and she's like, "Hey, you guys looking for a table?" Like, "Sure, how much?" And she's like, "Dude, it was like fucking." I think she said $200. I was like, $200 at a fucking table on a Wednesday night? I was like, are you kidding me? I was like,
But is that at the club or at the bar?
It was a bar clubbish. It was like
$200 is not that much compared to Las Vegas rates, man. Remember the guy? 5-10K like that, man.
But no, it was a table. It was like a little table there. It was like to sit. It wasn't like a club
VIP
with like big drinks.
Like up high.
Table. Like, what the hell?
Okay.
But, I don't know. Like it's cool. Like, but then you can go on and you can spend money like in the States like crazy, or you can just like, try to go low key.
Yeah.
Right now I'm in a really nice neighborhood, so like there's like all kinds of restaurants, cafes. So like one good thing about my neighborhood here is like any bar, or, I mean any restaurant or cafe or anything you go, you have internet and they have a plug-in cable for your computer. You can sit there and like sip and drinks and then be on the computer all day.
Nice.
So we do that. I mean, but we have a gym right next to us. So what we do is like in the morning, like you said, this time we just go to the gym. And then after that we'll have lunch here, and then I don't know, weekends we just walk around, maybe go to the mall, show the mall. But
do people talk English? Do people speak English there?
No, not really. No. Few people, yeah. Some people speak, but
so if I get there, I'll be fucked basically, right? I have to learn Spanish or something. Google Translate. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not many people speak English, man. Surprisingly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's it's alright. You see foreigners. There's a big expat community. Well, decent. It's like 9,000 people on Facebook. So some of these people meet up every now and then. I don't know. They go for like they go and check out the wells. Like they go wells size well seen or whatever you call it. Like they go in a boat and check out the wells, the ocean. Because we're right next to the ocean here.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So whales come down to breed. Usually they come in winter to breed. So they come south.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah, like I keep seeing posts about whales. I don't know. I gotta find out.
In Hawaii, that's the case in Hawaii. Like if you want to see humpback whales in Hawaii, you have to go in the winter. I went there in the winter, dude. I saw a whale just jumping off the water. Dude, that was like massive, man. That was pretty cool, yeah. So I'm pretty sure they do the same because it's warm waters there as well in Central America, right?
Yeah, it's warm, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but life is good. Life is good. We're gonna, I don't know. We've been here, man. We've been here 5 weeks or 6 weeks, and after 6 weeks, we're like, we don't want to be here forever. We want to be here only 2 years. We're gonna stay here because our lease, we got a lease for 2 years, so we're gonna be here for 2 years and then bail. We think we're gonna move to Colombia and do 6 months in Colombia and then do 6 months maybe in Europe. Just go back and forth. Just do 6 months in Portugal probably. So we'll probably rent a place in Colombia. I mean, Colombia is super cheap with food, drinks, everything's way cheaper, man. I mean, it's probably like 30% of what you pay here.
Yeah.
We're from Colombia, so we could go to Colombia, but we just don't want to stay there longer than 6 months because we'll become tax residents. So we'll just move there, and then from there we just before the 6 months are up, we just go to Portugal.
What's up, Sam?
Yeah,
what's going on, man? Good. How are you? you just wake up?
No, I was just working out outside.
Oh, nice, man. Yeah, we've been talking about projects and stuff like that, and Johan was sharing his idea with Elastus and stuff. If you have any coins to show right now, now is the right time.
Well, as for you, if you have any question for my brother about
So, guy, how about the tax-free stuff? Is it worth living in Panama with tax-free as far as crypto stuff?
Yeah, we don't. Here in Panama you don't pay capital gains tax on anything, and on only if you buy Canadian. I mean, only if you buy Panamanian stocks, you pay. But we open a brokerage account and we're gonna be trading only in American stocks, so we pay 0% tax.
But how is it American? Is crypto considered to be American stock? So how does it work with like crypto?
We cannot crypto here is there's no loss for crypto. But if you, I cannot withdraw more than $10,000 US into a bank account. I'll get red flag
Per month?
Yeah, so so that's a big issue. So that's why we only came here. It's a long story. We came here to become a Panamanian resident, and then we can go to Europe. So there's like Gibraltar. Like before we got into the call with you on Google, I got emails. I'm talking to people from Europe. So there's Gibraltar, Malta, or Switzerland. So those three countries, I could go there, and then I'll make an account as a Panamanian resident. So then they will only, because man, I don't know if you're aware, but like since 2016 and 2017, there were big treaties of financial information between banks. So banks globally, every country are like telling everybody if they have people evading taxes. So in order for you to open an account in a country like Switzerland, like a tax haven like those countries where you are able to withdraw money with cryptos, like no question tax, no issues, you have to be a resident of a country that won't tax you globally. So
that's why you're a resident of Panama. Dude, that's like two-step movement. Yeah.
Deal,
crazy. What is Costa Rica the same?
It's like the language and everything is close to home.
Yeah.
So that's why this step. So this is the first we're gonna do in the next 6 months, and then after that is clear. It's all game. It's like all easy, man.
Yeah.
It's like that's it. Everything is legit.
Nice, man. What about Costa Rica? Is that the same as in Panama, right? No.
No, Costa Rica is a pain in the ass, man. Costa Rica, like I was looking into it, and it's so difficult. Like Justin will take like 4 years, or anybody will take 4 years to become a resident over there, and then they don't have the same thing as here. Like I told Justin, just come here, become a resident, do your banking here, and just live in Costa Rica. Just do your banking in Panama, and then once he gets his banking in Panama, he can go to Switzerland or any other country that we're gonna go. And then so the idea is to have his banking going through Europe and funneling to Panama. And then, so between Europe and Panama, and then he could be living in Costa Rica, and then he'll have his debit card will be from Panama or from Europe.
Yeah.
Then he'll pay over there. But then all his banking is done offshore, and then he just lives in Costa Rica, and no issues. It will be all clear. But the Costa Rica won't. The issue Costa Rica just takes longer. You gotta pay more money, and it's just why would you wait for 4 years?
Yeah.
You can do it for 6 months and then do it.
So you have to be in Panama for 6 months without leaving, right?
No, you don't have to live here. You don't have to live here at all. We just wanted to live. So you come here, you pay a fee of $5,000, and then you come back to your country, and then come back here to Panama to sign papers. After like 4 months, they give you a permanent resident card, and then that's what we got. We got a permanent resident card. So we can literally be living in Canada. We just don't want to be living in Canada because we want to file a paper saying that we're not residents of Canada, right? So okay, literally we could have stayed in Canada all this time. We could have stayed in Canada and be there, and then gone to Europe, and then go there as a Panamanian resident, because we have all the documents Panamanian residence, and open the offshore banking as Panamanian residence.
Yeah.
And then still living in Canada. But we're like, man, we don't wanna stay in Canada too long. Like winters suck. The crypto community is small in Edmonton. If I'm gonna move out of Edmonton to a city with bigger crypto community, might as well move to Panama.
Yeah.
Panama here, it's more prone to cryptos, more investments. The city, like, people are more like business minded here than in Edmonton in a sense.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, and then we're not gonna be, we're just like a winter, so we're like, let's get out, man. So
Yeah.
let's get out.
Interesting. That's pretty cool, man. So it's $5,000 only, and you just come there, you sign papers, and then you just have to wait 4 months, and then you come back and pick up your card. It's interesting.
And then you can go to Europe and open your bank account, and then the bank accounts will be in your name, but they will say he's a
resident of Panama.
Resident of you. But the thing is, like, you're a U.S. citizen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that it doesn't work like that, because unless, well, I have a contact to do it for U.S. citizens. This guy's is this guy's a little, he's a piece of shit though. He's from Puerto Rico, and his dad is a big freaking like financial, like he's the financial minister of Switzerland, and he told me that he had contacts. He thought I was an American, so I called him and I was like, hey, I'm a Canadian resident, Canadian citizen. He's like, oh well, you don't need me and all this. Like I'm more into, I'm looking for Americans to come here. So I got this contact, but this guy's a little piece of shit because he looks like he came out of his daddy's pocket. He thinks everybody, like I don't know, he just treats everybody like a peasant for some reason. I was like talking to him like he's a piece of shit, but he was saying that through him and then this company that this freaking agency that they have in Switzerland, they help American citizens and they everything's clear, man. Like absolutely everything is good. So like I don't know, if I was you, you're a citizen of Russia and US.
But how does it matter if I have a resident? If I'm a resident of Panama, how does it even how does it relate to opening a bank in Switzerland? Like they're gonna know that I'm a U.S. citizen and they're gonna default the Panamanian residency and they're gonna say that I am a U.S. citizen?
Yeah, I'll give you an example. So here, when we came here to Panama, we opened the brokerage account to trade stocks.
Yeah.
And the first question they asked is like, "Are you a U.S. citizen?" Because the U.S. has like they have like intelligent freaking agencies like the NSA or whatever in every single capital of the world. Here they have one, so every freaking U.S. citizen these agencies come, these intelligence agencies come, and they go into all the banking branches and they say, you have to tell us about all your U.S. citizens. So they have to abide by U.S. because U.S. fucking has like all the power. So they have to tell everything. So when we're here, we're like shit. It's like fucking U.S. citizens have to say I'm a U.S. citizen, and immediately the U.S. intelligence will fucking like knock on your door and say, hey, yeah, we know you're in Panama. You have to pay taxes if you're fucking doing something.
Wow.
So that's the issue, man, because they're everywhere. So like, okay, I know, maybe not in a. Okay, this is the thing. So I'm reading about all this about cryptos, and one thing is like if you withdraw, let's say you have money in Bitfinex, and you have it in US dollars, and you want to withdraw it. When you withdraw in US dollars, you're usually sending it to a branch that deals with US dollars, and it deals with American intelligence. So what happens is like here, banks in Panama, they all deal with US dollars. So when we try to withdraw money from the Bitfinex to Panamanian bank account, it got denied because it goes through freaking it first goes through US intelligence banking, intermediate banking, and then over there they flag it and they won't allow. But if you withdraw money in euros, you can withdraw it in Europe with no issue. So if I was you and you were like wanting to withdraw money, I would go to a country. But fuck, maybe I don't know if that's possible. Any country that because there's branches in Latvia and there's branches in Georgia. Georgia has some of the best offshore banks right now, man. Georgia. So I was talking to research because we wanted to go to Georgia eventually and maybe open a bank account over there. So they speak English. You go over there, you speak English, and they open a bank account for you, and you can withdraw money there with no issue. And you can actually become a resident of Georgia. You can stay in Georgia for 1 year, and get a study, work, anything, pay taxes, do whatever you want for like a year, and then after that you have to pay a little tax. But like Georgia is one of the easiest countries to do offshore banking right now. But I don't know if okay. This bank that I'm looking in Georgia, I don't know if they deal with euros. If they deal with euros, you can literally go there as a user. You just don't say you're a user, and you fucking just say that you fucking just lie, man. You go there and you say you're a Russian citizen, and then you say you don't say fucking anything about American, man. And then you open up an account as a Russian, and then you withdraw money through with euros to that bank account and it's all clear. But then if you want to transfer the issue, like if you want to transfer that money to a different global bank account, that's the issue. Like it's like, oh, there's a fucking Georgian. They're gonna maybe flag you. Oh, there's a Georgia bank account. It's like, we don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't done it. But I know of people withdrawing millions of dollars in Georgia, no questions asked. But again, money gets stuck in there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to withdraw money there and get it stuck in there, I don't know. I don't know if they manage to move that money abroad to a different branch. But again, it has to do in euros, man. I think the key is euros, Europe, and non-US intelligence. So that's why we learn all this shit, man. It's a learning experience.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I wonder if you can like do as
another thing is like you can use this. You can withdraw the money through us, and then you have a different bank company on your name, and then we transfer the money to you.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
This company has to be somewhere where Americans are not on your ass.
Yeah.
And then you're most likely gonna have to lie, dude.
Yeah, Soviet space. Back to USSR.
Or do you want to have your money in Russia?
Well, Russians are pretty crazy, man. You can.
Yeah, I know. I know. So Georgia is a really big option. You gotta read about Georgia. I'll start reading about Georgia, and then I'll have to read about Georgia too.
Yeah. Well, I have.
Right now, after reading, I just got an email, man, and I was reading about it, and then it seems to me that Malta is the place to go.
Yeah.
Malta or Gibraltar.
Okay. Well, I have time on my hands because my Bitcoin account is not that vast yet, so I have some time to explore that. It's fine.
Yeah, well, by then I will know the inside out. I will tell you.
Yeah, dude. And plus, we're gonna meet in Panama soon. I think I'm coming at the end of the year. Hopefully, my mom is coming soon as well.
Dude, everybody wants to come at the end of the year, man. Everybody's like, we're coming at the end of the year. Well, so far only like what? My mom is coming. Nobody else has booked anything yet, but yeah, she wants to come. Man.
Yeah, well, my mom is coming at the end of the year here, so I need to figure that out as well, how it's gonna work.
Hey, dude, do you want to go to Argentina?
Why? What's in Argentina?
Dude, Argentina is so cheap. The freaking country is like in hyperinflation right now. Well, not hyperinflation, badly. It's bad. If you look at the peso against the dollar, is so cheap. Right now, the best time to travel to
Argentina. Wow.
So we're planning to go in January or Feb. So I don't know if you want, we can go there, man. I'm telling you, like hotels, everything, food, like steaks, everything, so cheap. We're thinking of going in January, but we're gonna go with someone.
Yeah, that would be cool.
We're gonna ask Dmitry if he wants to come because man, Dmitry is always going to Costa Rica. Like what?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you listen to it, yeah, we're saying that.
Maybe he's
going to Costa Rica all the time.
He's building a house there probably or something.
No, he should come. Well, I
yeah.
think he should come with his girl to Argentina with us, man.
Yeah.
He's sick, man.
Nice, man.
You could bring your girl too or something. Man, like we'll be a good round trip, like a good trip, man. Buenos Aires and then Cordova are like the two cities that you want to know. Like so cheap, man. Like it's the best time to go and travel, man. Like it's so dirt cheap.
Nice, man.
I would say with $10, you'll be able to have a feast, man. Like a feast and drinks, like crazy.
$10? Wow.
Like less than that, probably $7 here.
Dude, crazy. I just traveled. I went traveling for like 8 days recently, and I spent $1,300 for the entire trip, and I went to 8 cities in 8 days, man.
Where did you go?
I went to I drove up the coast, so going from LA to San Francisco, then I went to Portland, then I went to Seattle, then I went to Vancouver because it was only 2.5 hours away, and then I went back to Seattle, then I flew to Miami to East Coast, and I drove up to Brunswick, Georgia, and then I went to Charleston, South Carolina, and go back to Savannah, Georgia.
How's Charleston?
Charleston, well, it was right at the Hurricane Florence, so everything was like, like there were like wooden sheets on windows. The place was deserted, man. Like the whole goal of the trip was to like see how the hostel, because I want to open the hostel in Los Angeles. Remember I told you that I'm doing Airbnb, but I want to like progress into something more solid, so I want to open a hostel. So I was traveling like and staying at hostels. Each hostel costs maximum $50. $40. Granted, you have to share it with other people, but you don't usually spend time within the room. You usually browse around. You see
how much they were charging per day, like staying a day
in a hostel. $40.
$40.
$40. Yeah. So that's the thing about hostels, man. Like if you want to stay a night somewhere, $40, $50 tops, man. And they provide the breakfast and stuff.
First time we were in LA, we paid like $20 in a shitty place.
Yeah, dude.
My brother was hating it. He's like, let's get out of here. What the fuck?
Well, some hostels are shitty, dude, but some like there's new. So there are 10,000 hostels in Europe, and there are 300 hostels in United States, man. Hostel scene in the United States is so undervalued that it's crazy. That's why I'm like, it's pretty lucrative value, man.
Oh, dude, that's a great freaking idea, man.
Yeah, and the fact that it costs only like $40-50 tops, it allows people to travel on a budget. Like I said, I traveled 8 cities, $1,300. That includes tickets, staying at hostels, everything, man. Like,
that's really cheap, man.
Yeah, dude. And I visited 8 cities, man. It's pretty cool. Like, I loved it, man. So yeah, so that's that was my trip, man. So hostel scene, like, I want to open something like that. But
what did you like the most?
Hard to tell. Miami, I think, but Miami was like every city has a different vibe. So so Portland and Seattle, they're very liberal cities. They're very like, those red hair liberals kind of stuff. That's what they are, man. Like everything is like, every hostel there is like pro, you have to compost all your like debris of your food and shit. Like everything is recycled. We value the nature and stuff like that. So they're super liberal there. And everybody rides bicycles and stuff. And Portland was very small. There's almost nothing to do except for hiking trails, but we weren't hiking, so it was like pretty boring city in my opinion. Although the Japanese garden that I went to was pretty cool actually. And the only thing that they have in Portland that I liked was there's a cable car that basically like up on the mountains. You take a cable car, but that cable car goes into a hospital, so it's not even a tourist place. You just ride a cable car and you get into a hospital and you ride it back. So it was like not that super intense there. Seattle was cool because Seattle is house for Amazon, Microsoft, Boeing, Starbucks. We actually went to that first Starbucks, and it was actually pretty cool to see like this very small, that store, the first Starbucks store, it's like at the pier. It's called, I forgot, the Pine Street. So it's like a very famous pier there, and the store itself is super small, man. But then after that, when you travel to any other city and you see Starbucks, you're like, okay, it took guys only 40 years and they become global company, man. Like in 40 years they just conquered the world. And when you see Starbucks, like it started in that city. It's crazy. Yeah,
that's not like about companies. It's like they freaking can grow, man, like crazy.
Yeah, dude. And it's like, why did he, I'm pretty sure he got like Starbucks, and there's like a lot of coffee shops, not only Starbucks, like in that city. So I guess they feed off the pier. So whatever imports they have of coffee, I guess they got some cheap deals, and that's how they got like, that's how they blasted basically. If you go inside that store, everything it looks like a warehouse in a way, because everything is in bulk. You know how in any Starbucks you go, it looks nice and you can sit there and whatever. That store has nothing like that. You cannot sit there, like boxes everywhere and stuff with imports. So I guess it was just like a slash warehouse slash coffee shop in the beginning, and it stays that way. It's pretty cool. And they have a Space Needle. It's I'm not sure if you know. It's like if you've seen it in Las Vegas, you know that stratosphere in Las Vegas. Basically, it's like a needle that goes up. You go up. There is a restaurant. You sit there. It spins around. So I think Space Needle was the first one in Seattle. Like the Las Vegas was what kind of a replica. So they were trying to, and any other, like it's not only in Seattle and Las Vegas. Other cities also have it, but I think Seattle was the first one, and it was dedicated to like the space exploration program and back in 60s 70s. So it's pretty cool. You also go up, you like browse around. So Seattle's pretty nice. Vancouver was raining as fuck, man. Like I stayed in the car because I didn't have any warm clothes, man. It was so cold. I was fucked up. And it seemed like Vancouver was very family oriented city because we went there. We didn't know what to see there, so we went to this science center. You know, it looks like a dome on the shore or something. Dude, yeah, we went there and it turns out it's a place for fucking kids, man. Like everything is like for kids, dude. Like kiddies like throw balls in the water and shit like that. You have to like press on some animals to understand how like animals behave and stuff. Like we didn't know that, and they also have pretty cool park. I like the park. We went into aquarium there. That was pretty fun. And then they had some concert there, but it was very raining, so I couldn't really browse through a lot. And plus we had only like 5 hours or 6 hours there, but it was cool. That was my first Canadian experience in a way. Kind of looked like Russia, like the suburb looked like Russia, like trash sometimes is like there and stuff like that. The fence is like, you can see if the fence is crooked and every wooden part of the fence doesn't match, that's like Russian style, man, like for sure. And some Canadian suburbs had that. So when we went back after that back to Seattle, and then I flew to Miami. And going from Seattle to Miami, it's like hell and heaven, man, because Miami is so hot and moist, and Seattle was very cold. So I just went back to like sauna after that. You know, Miami was sauna for me, and I lived at the. Have you been to Miami before?
Only when I was a kid, man. I was like 16. No, actually, no, I was 16.
Yeah, so Miami is pretty chill. It's the first time when I ever saw a stray dog just walking down the street, man, without any owners. Like I've never seen any stray dogs in United States. Miami was the first city to ever see that shit. So I was like, okay, so people just chill there. GPS is horrible. There is no like, I missed my exits like 10 times because there's no like signs. I mean, like in a way you can see like which is, you know, street is east exit, west exit. It kind of makes, you know, it's very descriptive if you use Google Maps, but there it's like you have to guess if you have to turn left or right all the time. And people ride their bikes and motorcycles without helmets, which is what was weird for me as well. It's don't give a fuck. Yeah, dude. Yeah, and so we stay at the shoreline at the Miami Beach, you know, when it's like the very east of Miami, basically, that shoreline. And there was a hostel. So the hostel that I stayed at, it's called Freehand, and they opened 4 hostels in US, which is New York, LA, Chicago, and Miami. And that's institutional money. You say that's big Wall Street money. They're trying to pour money into hostel world right now. So and that was the best like hostel experience that I had, because it was kind of like a hotel, because in many hostels you have to like they give you just folded sheets of for the bed, and you have to like unfold it yourself, and you have to fold it back once you're done and put it in the laundry. So it was like kind of like a army experience, but in that hostel it was very like everything is done for you, even though it costs the same, and like they have a garden inside. It looks like I felt like I was in the Miami movie, you know what I mean, like just chilling by the pool, drinking margaritas and whatever.
What was it called?
Freehand, one word. So that's the kind of hostel model that I want to open. In a way, I think it's very convenient actually, like compared to other hostels.
Okay.
Yeah, free like free, and hand like hand, freehand. Yeah. So yeah, dude. And after that, dude, I went to. So the whole trip was dedicated to exploring hostel, but the reason for that was that book that I read by the manager of Charleston hostel. She's the manager, and she wrote like how she runs the hostel and how to like everything down to like all the, you know, down to $1 that she spent on a toilet paper and stuff like that. So she documented everything, and it's pretty cool, very descriptive. And she mentioned some of the hostels on the East Coast that she likes, and one of them was Hostel in the Forest in Georgia and in Brunswick. So I went there, man, and that was for real Hostel in the Forest, dude. Like I couldn't even find it. Like it showed me like approximate map, man. Like I have to drive up the freeway, and then it has like a turn section on the freeway without any signs. There's one sign that is written like by hand, Hostel. That's it, man. You can easily miss it, man. And there's like, when you drive, I actually recorded everything. I'm gonna be posting those video, but when you drive like down the trail to get to the hostel, it's like you're driving in a fucking jungle, man. Like there's no civilization whatsoever. So I drove there. You drive inside the forest for like 5 minutes. You hope that your car is not gonna get stuck, because you're not driving on the road, you're driving on the like a path that they made basically. So off-road, so you're driving on the dirt. And my car was just a regular Toyota. So I drive there, and I see like they have like a parking section, like they just like an area where you can park, and there's only one car, and the front plate says "Vegan for life." I was like, "Fuck, man, there's something." There's something weird with that hostel. So I was like, I parked there. I was like, okay, so I'm going there, dude, and so the hostel looks like a tree house. Like they have different tree houses, and they actually built on trees or near the trees. Everything is made of wood, man. There is no like glass, so it's just like open, like instead of windows, it's open sections with just a net. So because there's a lot of mosquitoes, I'm still bitten as fuck, man. I'm still like scratching myself because there's so many mosquitoes there. It's crazy. And the guy who built it, he built it back in 1970s and stuff, and he was the like a local lawyer in Brunswick. But that was back in that hippie movement where everybody was, you know, like pro-life and pro-peace and stuff like that. So they decided to build a hostel in the forest, and right now I was the only guest that stayed there for like a night or something. Other people were staying there for like months and stuff, man, and they were all like community and stuff. And before we had dinner in the evening, we had to go in a circle, hold hands, and everybody was supposed to say why he is grateful for that day, man. That was so weird for me. I was like, what is that? Dude, like that looked like a not a sect in a way, yeah. Well, can have a negative connotation to it, but it was kind of a weird community. And they had a lake, which is like a naked lake. Basically, you can swim there naked and stuff, which is totally fine, man. And like, it's pretty crazy experience. That was like one of a kind of shit, man. Definitely not the business model, but I want to get, because the guy that opened it still owes the money for the land, man. Because he wrote a diary, like the entire book that I read there. He wrote a diary how he opened it, man, and he basically bought 90 acres of land to open the hostel. And then when he bought 90 acres of land, he realized that none of the land is actually suitable to open the hostel. So he bought 75 acres of land, and then he bought additional 15 acres of land of the neighbor, and then he built the hostel on that 15 acres of land. So really, of the 90 acres of land, only 15 acres are suitable for the hostel.
Wow, dude! So he didn't do his research, and he fucking bought all this land. Oh my God.
Dude, yeah, and he built it with just like using wood and stuff. And the reason why he bought it, he built hostel just because he wanted to, I guess, to give back to community. But then one of the stories, one second, ну пройди, я же здесь закрыл. Да, здесь закрыто, не видно абсолютно. Эту часть не видно. Я снимаю только здесь, да. Хорошо. Okay, so basically he told, like, in that diary he wrote a story that one of the day in one of the days of operating in a hostel he had a guest which was a psychic, and that psychic girl was hired by I guess Georgian police department or something to investigate some murders of black kids or shit like that, dude. And she was supposed to stay at the hostel, and he was very skeptical about psychics and shit. And then when he met her, he said that we went for a ride, and he only shared his like date of birth or something, and that was enough. And he thought that, you know, sometimes when you share a date of birth, that usually astrologists use it for like calculate your mood and temper or shit like that, but it's very like generic all the time because it can fit any profile really. So but she was so specific about what happened to him and in the past, and to his kids and to his wife. Like he said, he was very skeptical, but after that he was like true believer that she knew shit, that she was like a real psychic. And she explained to him that the reason why he opened the hostel in the forest is because in his past life he was an English priest who was labeled to be a heretic, so he was supposed to be like burned on you know, he was supposed to be executed or something. So he ran away into the forest and he was about to die, but he found some guy in the forest who like saved his life and nurtured him and whatever, and like he really like saved his life after that. And that priest promised him that he's gonna pay him back, but I guess he couldn't pay him back in that life, so it was a karmic debt throughout the life. And I guess that's the reason why he opened the hostel, like to pay back the debt from the previous life. That shit was, when I was reading that, I was like, going from Miami when everybody parties and drinks to like margaritas and shit and smokes weed, you going into this sacred fucking geometry stuff, man. It's crazy, dude. So that hostel, definitely not a business model to follow, but one of a kind experience.
Why are you interested in opening a hostel? What was I have been interested in opening a hostel too. So what's the biggest sell? Like what can entice you to think about opening a hostel?
Me?
Yeah.
Why do I want to open the hostel? Is that the question? Because if you want to, because Airbnb is basically a hospitality business, right? And if you want to progress in hospitality business, since Airbnb is kind of iffy with like the whole management stuff, and I explained, I told you about that. It's where do you progress? It's either you open a hostel or you open a hotel. Well, hotel it's much more money involved there. Hostel is pretty pragmatic and it's pretty minimal in a way. So it's easier to open a hostel than open a hotel, or you can open a boutique hotel.
What's the rate of success on a hostel? Like I don't know any of those stats. Is it like really? Is it more convenient to open a hostel than a hotel? Like when it comes to like success rates and stuff, or how does that work?
That's a tough question because there's not that much data on hostels, because in the United States hostel run usually non-profit, so freehand is the only good business model that is profit, you know. So it's there's no such statistics on that, because most of them are the part of Hostel International, which is like the biggest hostel community, I guess. Non-profit corporation, is there such a thing, non-profit corporation? Or non-profit organization, yeah. So so they just run it non-profit, man. So it's not like a pro business model. So it's, I don't know the success. I have to try it myself. But there are some hostels here in LA that they run some profitable business. I research more into that. But if you think of it, just to compare like to Airbnb that I'm doing, my Airbnb apartment, to rent that with the cleaning fees and everything, that would cost about tops about $200 per night. That's like one-time cleaning fee which is $60. Usually it costs like $120, $130 per night, right? That's the entire apartment. Now in a room in a hostel, you can put up to 6-8 bunk beds, and each bunk bed it's about $40-50. So one room would bring you $160 up to $320 per day, per night, right? And you can usually hostel operates like 4 or 6. Like the freehand hostel that I stayed at had 75 rooms with 4 to 8 bunk beds. So you're looking about 300.
75 rooms?
So you're looking about 300 to 600 people staying there. So you're looking about, if you multiply it by, let's say, $40, so it's $12K to $24K per night that they can make. That's pretty good money, you know what I mean?
That's insane money, yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. So let's see how it's gonna operate. It's just when you, I'm gonna follow a freehand model, I guess, because they have institutional money, so they just bought off the fucking hotel in Miami, man. It used to be just an old hotel, and they just converted it into a hostel. I'm gonna be starting from the get-go. There's this company in LA called Podshare, and there's this chick. She actually organized this thing. I think her father is Russian, so he helped her build that thing. So Podshare is not a hostel, but it's more of a long-term accommodation. Huh?
Is that a lifestyle?
You can live there longer. So usually people who stay there, they can stay there up to 3 months. So if you're like a seasonal worker and you come to work like during the summer, that's like the best thing for you, and you can pay $50 per day, or it gets cheaper if you stay there longer. Like they have some deals if you stay for a week or month or something like that. But they build it inside warehouses, so it's really like, and they build like all the beds themselves and stuff like that out of wood and shit. So it's, yeah, they're trying to grow that thing, and the wave like that of like affordable accommodations was back in 70s and 80s, but for some reason they closed down. I don't know what the reasons are. I didn't research that yet, but it's a pretty cool stuff. So there is some stuff like that. So basically, yeah, back to our conversations. It was very cheap to stay at the hostel, man. I didn't expect that. If you want to travel on a budget and you don't care about like to having your own room.
I travel always on hostels, man. I went to Chile hostels. We went to LA. The first time I went to LA was hostels.
What hostel did you stay at in LA?
When we went to LA, dude, that was with my brother. What the hell we were doing? We went to Hollywood. We stayed at a hostel right in Hollywood, man.
Oh, is that on Hollywood and Highland? On the second floor, it looks like there's a gift shop downstairs and shit, and you go up the stairs.
No, we stayed at a Hollywood hostel. There is a house that was white. It was all white. I mean, I had to look it up, man. But
there's a bunch of hostels in Hollywood.
We stayed in hostel. What other hostel have we stayed in Mexico? Have you stayed in hostel? No, Mexico. I stayed in hostel. I stayed in a few hostels though. Chile was disgusting though. Chile was
disgusting.
But LA was the best hostel we stayed. LA was in Hollywood.
Nice, man. So like I figure out, because that was the first time I ever stayed at the hostel. I never stayed at the hostel before. It's a pretty interesting experience, bro. So yeah, dude, that was my trip, man. And actually, I finished the book. I finally finished this motherfucker, man. I finally finished that shit, man.
Oh really? Fuck! I haven't even finished it.
Dude, I downloaded audiobook, man. That's the way to go. You don't have to read anymore, man. You just listen to it, man. Finally, dude. With audiobook, I already read it twice, man. For real, man. Pretty cool, actually. Yeah, dude. Right now, I pop in it's on my phone all the time. So when I go to gym and stuff, I just pop in one of the chapters and just listen to it on a daily basis, because otherwise it's so much information that it's kind of hard to keep everything in your head all the time, man.
So hard. That's why I try to make notes, man. I put like small notes, but I'm gonna continue reading this one because I started reading other books, man.
Dude,
I read this one, the Thou shall prosper. Like,
Oh yeah, tell me. Oh, damn, that's a lot of notes.
yeah, I put out. Dude, this book is like insane. I sent an email to the guy, and he responded yesterday, and I'll show you. I'll show you the email right now.
The to Lapin or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I'll show you the email.
Okay. Yo, dude, give me 1 second. I'm gonna refill on my coffee. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. All right.
Okay, so
Rabbi Daniel Lapin.
yeah, so this is the email.
Yeah, it was a real pleasure to receive your email. I just returned from speaking trip in Texas and entering the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur. So please allow me to respond to your message in a few days' time. Meanwhile, I'm very appreciate the opportunity of strategizing with you how to produce this book in Spanish. Or you want to translate that shit in Spanish?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, this email I sent like a really long email. The guy said, yeah, he said he's like willing to strategize with me. So
did they have it in Russian?
And no, it's only no, the other but yeah, no, it's only in English, dude. Dude, this book, you read it, and it's gonna blow you away, man. You know how the book of Jordan Peterson starts talking about the duality of life in the beginning?
Yeah.
About the female, male, and like
yin yang. Yeah.
Well, this book talks about it all the time. You know, so many aspects in life, blown away, like about politics, economics, sex, like religion, everything, dude. It's just absolutely everything. It's so much like information compacted in that. What happens? Like I started reading Jordan Peterson, and then I went to the third chapter and whatever, and then I got that book in the mail, and I started reading it. So I read the first chapter, and I was like, "Holy crap, this book is insane!" And I dropped Jordan Peterson's book for this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to communicate to Jordan Peterson to read the book. Jordan Peterson is trying to learn about the Bible, and I'm trying to get him to read this book, Jordan Peterson. So I gotta send him an email somehow. But anyway,
so
that book, dude, blew my mind, and I dropped Jordan Peterson's book for this one because he was so good.
So it's not a business oriented. It's like a life kind of advice book.
It's business oriented, but it talks about everything. Because man, everything in business related with life.
Yeah.
So like if you have, for example, if you don't have a good diligence on life overall, you're not gonna be successful in business. There's laws. There's laws in physics and science, and there's laws in making friends, in establishing businesses, in economics, and how to lead a country. Like so many things. This guy talks about all those aspects in this book. So it gives you 10 commandments on how to make money. But overall, those are like how to like establish good relations with people, how to have like employees working for you for the long haul, stuff like that.
Mm.
Like he like touches so many subjects, dude. He just talks about like family, friends, politics, like economics, like so many subjects. This guy reads so many books. He quotes so many books. Like it's not like he came out with a book and like, oh, here, this is what I think now. The guy quotes so many books, man. Like, the citations are like so long.
So how do you keep employees long time? How do you keep your employees for the long time? That's a really interesting question. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a good question.
Yeah, especially if it's like a very. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he talks about like vision and leadership. So he gives an example of Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was really good at convincing the world into his idea.
Yeah.
But then he became disenfranchised from people. because he started eating like for example, he will be in his own train wagon eating like really fancy food. Meanwhile, all his soldiers are outside like freaking eating shit and like in the storm or whatever. So like he talks about that you cannot be disenfranchised from your employees. You have to go always to like go back to the ground, go back to the troops and like live with them, and then this will give an identity to the troops. So
True.
if you have employees, you don't want to be like the show what's it called? It's undercover boss.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the CEO of a company goes and starts working
Into a field. Yeah.
Well, exactly. That's what it is. Like you don't have to make full makeup. Just go and work with your employees on the day-to-day life and struggles that they do. But if you identify with the struggles that your employees have every day, they're gonna do whatever they can to for the company. So it's more about like live with the reality of life, live with the reality of what the employees are going through, and don't be disenfranchised with their reality. So that's one. This book, especially you about businessman, you're gonna read this book. It's gonna blow you away, man. I wrote that like. So this is the thing. I wrote the whole thing, and I was like, this book is one of the best books I ever read in my life, probably the best one. And I'm like, I want to learn everything so well that I'm gonna like pretty much like execute everything he taught in the book on my life. And I'm like, okay, so I have the option to reread it like 100 times in English and like take my notes, or I could translate it in Spanish. And then so I'm gonna hire this guy in Colombia who's really great apparently in translating religious like kind of books, but this book is not, it's not that religious. This book is he calls it, this book is a book full of wisdom, of Jewish wisdom, written in a secular way for the secular people. So this is not like religious at all. You read it and you're like, oh, this is like Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I want to translate the whole thing so everything gets in my mind, and then I know everything there, and then I know everything in Spanish and English, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I want to translate it. So I'm hiring this guy, and then he's gonna translate it for me. But I'm gonna be checking out absolutely every page that is gonna be translated.
Nice.
So
can you read some of the notes that you made as a preview?
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you an example. I'll give you this one. This is really good one.
Yeah.
The word. Okay, I'll show you right now. I'll screenshot it because I was talking to Justin about this, but he didn't know I was mentioning. Yeah. This is where's Justin? Okay. So like right now on my LinkedIn, I say that I'm working for Thal Investments. So Thal is a German word for valley. So it came from this was created because there was a guy, there was a mint. I don't know if it was one guy, it was a mint that was minting coins. So that was back in the 1400s. So in the 1400s, so they started minting coins, but these people were saying, okay, we're gonna mint coins, but we're gonna actually promise on what we're saying. We're not gonna freaking devalue our coins. So they wanted to build a reputation. So they become called the Thal coins. So they become really famous because all the coins were like 100% silver or whatever silver they were promising on. So they came from Germany, and these people became so famous that all these coins were distributed all throughout Europe. So so pretty much they were some of the first mints in Europe to really capitalize on the idea of preserving value.
Are they related to Rothschilds in any case?
No. They were the mints. The Rothschilds were they introduced banking. These guys were like producing mint. It's different. It's a lot different. So they were the first ones to produce coins. So this is what I wrote to Justin. The idea behind the name is to give reference to the first silver mint coins that were intentionally not based to preserve value. This brought great reputation to the Valley region of Germany, where they mint all these coins. So in essence, the thal represents real value, reputation, and the abandon of all ways of debasement. Right? So if you so thal, this thal, the Dutch started training with thals, but they couldn't they stopped calling them thals. They call thaler. They call them with a different name. But then from there it is the beginning of the word dollar. So thal is the
For real?
the root name of dollar.
For real. So tower is in the dollar came from tower?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It's crazy. Tower.
So this guy, well, in the book, this guy explains about that, and he's saying how where the money of dollar came from. He gives a lot of historical reference to a lot of stuff. So trying to talk about that part in the book is like saying like if you build a good reputation and you build trust, people will come, right? So people will use your product. So anyway, so I was telling Justin that if you think about it, cryptos represent the 21st century thal. They do not get based by
currency.
rise discovery to the world just like the thal did back in the 15th century. So I wanted to put on LinkedIn that what I do, but not explicitly say what I trade cryptos. That I trade cryptos, right? I want to say I want to trade the next crypto, right?
Yeah.
The first century thal is the crypto. So that's pretty much what I put in on reference on the book, on my LinkedIn. But this I only learned about thals on the book. So yeah, so there's that's like for example, that's one of the aspects of it. For example, he talks about different periods in life. Like there's 25-year cycles that where you identify new technologies and new breakthroughs. So he said like if you identify that, you're gonna make money. So for example, so right here, it's on page 254. Talks about 1850, the telegraph was created. Then 1870, so roughly about that era, that time, the telegraph was created or started getting traction. Right? So 1850, telegraph was created or got traction. 1875, telephone was created or started getting traction. 1900, the auto industry started getting born. But it was like 1890s in Germany, but then it globally started getting more traction in 1900s. The broadcasting, so television, 1925 was created. 1950 was plastics. 1975 the computer was created. Pretty much the personal computer was created. Year 2000 the internet was created, and then so it's every 25 years. So 2025 I think it's cryptocurrencies, man. So this guy talks about stuff like that. So he's like, if you identify the trend, you're gonna make a ton of money. So I don't know, he talks about like the significance of the Jewish star, and then why so significant, and then he compares it with the swastika of the Nazis.
Yeah.
And why the philosophy of the Nazis were from the beginning was gonna collapse. So he talks about like the idea that.
But Nazis took swastika from Tibet.
Yeah. Tibet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the swastika, he just gives reference that the swastika is all centered, like centralization.
Yeah.
There's one, and that's God. And like Adolf Hitler was God. If he died, like the entire thing will collapse, or if his name was stained, things will go down. But then he just like he goes so much into detail and like so many things. It's insane, man. Like the book talks about everything. Like he talks about body language. He talks about having visions. Okay, so I'll give you this. I'll give you the summary of subjects that he speaks about. The first commandment: believe in dignity and morality of business. So in this chapter, he talks about how business is one of the best things that you can do in life. Like people talk about charity, but man, business does more than charity does in the world. Like when you make a business that is profitable and you can replicate it everywhere, people are gonna like benefit everywhere. When you do charity, you send money to X and the money's gone. So like he talks about like business actually does better for humanity than charity. So the second commandment, he talks about extend the network of your connections to many people. So he talks about like doing networking and how to do real good networking. Not like he talks about like, for example, if you go to places that are like business, like like those summits, like the crypto summits and stuff like that. Sometimes they're like everybody's like in the mentality of like hunting or like getting people to know themselves, letting people know them, letting people know about themselves. But it's like he said, like he doesn't find that's one of the best places to do networking. He thinks like places where there's like maybe a party or um, like a dinner, like a I don't know, like a big dinner for people and stuff. Is like if you introduce yourself to people and everybody's in a really good uh, um, mentality, like they're not like aggressive business mentality, but they're like into a relaxed mentality. You introduce yourself, you're like, hey, I'm I'm Johan, and they all say, oh yeah, cool. What do you do? You just talk about your. So everybody wants to ask, what do you do? So they just you say, oh, I do cryptos, I do crypto investments, I work, I do day trades or whatever. And people are like, okay, that's cool, that's cool. And people, that gets stuck in their head, and if they really want to do business with you, they will let you know right away. So he talks about like you actually do something better business, just interacting with people and just living life, being with friends and talking to people. You actually do better business like that and get to grow your network. And then the third commandment is get to know yourself. Like always get to know yourself, what your strengths are. The fourth commandment is do not pursue perfection. Perfection is not going to get you anywhere. Then fifth commandment is lead consistently and constantly. So learn how to lead a company and constantly. Sixth commandment is constantly change the changeable, while steadfastly clinging to the unchangeable. So, he talks about how to identify on a company if you need to change something or not, or if you have to like stay to your initial vision or initial or culture of the company. So like there's stuff that throughout history companies change, and sometimes companies don't change, they don't adapt and they collapse. So he tells you how to identify that, how to identify if your company has to adapt or not, and then stay on your roots. So so he gives you like really good pretty much principles that you can apply anywhere. It's not like it's like he's not there's always a million examples, but he's gonna give you the principles to identify what to do with your specific company. So this can be applied on any company. Seventh commandment: learn to foretell the future. How to identify future trends. How to foretell the future. So he's saying like how some people make so much money on companies on the stocks because they understand the future. So like it's like cryptocurrencies. If you understand the cycles of the world or stuff like that, you might identify an upcoming cycle and you make a lot of money. Then know your money. Yeah, commandment. I don't recall what that is. So know your money. The ninth commandment: act rich. Give away 10% of your after-tax income. He's a well. He. I don't know why he called it like that. He doesn't specifically say 10% of your income. I don't recall that, but he's saying acting rich, like helping your community around. And then the 10th commandment is never retire. He doesn't believe in the retirement. Like retirement is a made-up word from the Germans that was established by the by one before the Weimar Republic. It was I forgot. It was pro-Russia Republic. It was Germany and something Russia combined. But it was introduced back in the 1870s, I think. Retirement Germany. So he talks about Germany is not retirement is not a concept known in Jewish culture, and he believes that you have to work. Like it's like people think about retirement. Like, okay, I'm gonna retire. I'm not gonna do anything for the rest of my life. I'm gonna live on my retirement. Just live off it every day. But dude, that's not proactive. Like
that's boring. Yeah.
Just boring. Your brain is not gonna be sharp at all. Like look at Warren Buffett. He's sharp like a fucking knife, man.
Yeah.
He's always thinking. These guys are read.
Yeah.
So a way of retirement would be maybe just fucking maybe retire from what you were doing before, but start doing a new stuff.
Yeah.
Exploring new ideas. Maybe I don't know, work on stuff that you didn't have time before. Maybe into the arts, into exploring new concepts. Maybe I don't know, reading books.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, man, I'm telling you, this book, dude. If you like Jordan Peterson's books, man, you're gonna like this book. I'm telling you. I'm telling everybody. I told Justin. I told my buddy Wade. I told like so many people. That's like I was so blown away that I'm translating into Spanish to give my parents, man.
Nice. So is that guy then? Is he a businessman as well? Besides writing books, does he have a business?
Yeah, so he's a rabbi. So rabbi, the meaning of rabbi is teacher. So all his life he got into business in the beginning, in his early stage in life.
Mm-hmm.
But then he had a call of becoming a rabbi. His dad was a rabbi, and he didn't want to be a rabbi. But he went to biblical school for a few years. But then he became a rabbi. He's like, I don't want to be a rabbi. And then he went to business, and then after business, he felt that he needed to practice his rabbinical roots. So then he started studying his rabbinical roots. But then he started finding that there was a lot of wisdom on the Bible, and he's like, man, I need to write this all in a text. And then he started finding out everybody was getting the same issues, everybody was asking the same questions, and then he started in a quest of understanding where all these answers were in the Bible.
Mm.
Then he started coaching people. Like he lives in California. Well, he first moved to California. He moved to he actually moved outside of LA. What's the beach called? This beach is right famous. You know where they were filming Fast and the Furious?
Malibu.
Malibu Beach. Yeah.
Yeah.
He opened the first well, what's the name of the church? Jewish church. I forgot the name. Well, he opened
Synagogue.
The church of the Jewish. What's that?
Synagogue.
Synagogue. Yeah.
Yeah.
A synagogue in Malibu Beach.
Okay.
And then he lived there for like 20 years, and then he moved to Seattle. He lives in Seattle now. But the guy, so he was mentoring all, like Jewish people are always into business. He was mentoring everybody in business. But in the end of the book, I was reading, and he regrets not executing and all this stuff because he says that like his life was split between a lot of years. He was spending his first 40 years reading and like understanding the Bible and like getting all intellect. But then he didn't execute. And then he spent the rest of the years like executing. So he said like he regrets not executing when he was young, dude. And you can see in the last chapter he was regretting not executing and all the stuff that he learned. But he said that he knows he has to have like thousands of people. But man, like when I read the book, I was like, man, this is one of the best business books I read. I was like, man, it's insane. Like it has like given me a lot of sense of where I'm going with my company, helped me what I have to do, And he gives tips in the end of every chapter. He gives tips what to do. He summarizes every chapter, like you gotta do this, this, and that. But then it's easy. You go to the end of the chapter. You look at everything. And it's like you just like execute and everything and act. You have to do. If you don't do, you fail. Anyway, so I read this book, man. If you read this book and you read Startup Nation, Israel. It's like how Israel was born. I mean, if you read those two books, I don't think you need more books in your life, dude, honestly. Business related books.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna give you an answer of what, man. If you read Startup Nation, you're gonna be blown away. Israel, dude, that book I'm gonna translate it to in Spanish. I'm gonna contact this guy after I translate this book. I'm gonna go and translate the other book because, man.
How's it called? The Star of Nations.
Startup Nation. Here. I'll show you. It's one of the best books explaining why Israeli companies why Israel is so successful, man. Like
Startup Nation.
The S&P 500, and this is the book. The S&P 500. This is actually this is the book. The S&P 500. All the companies are from. Well, most of the companies are from America. But the second country that has more companies in the S&P 500 or on the Nasdaq or whatever is Israel. Israel has the second country that has more companies in the S&P 500, dude.
Nice.
And Israel is in the middle of in the middle of the desert. So he talks about this is called Startup Nation, the story of Israel's economic miracle. And then they talk about how Israel was established, what kind of stuff these guys did to be able to capitalize and become the predominant nation Israel is the second nation, was the second most innovative nation on earth, man, after the U.S. Oh, like I know all the startups come from there, man. A lot of really important startups come from there, man.
Yeah.
Like, but like this, I suggest you if you, or maybe before you read that book, I'll suggest you to watch the documentary called Startup Nation. Where this one, dude, it's a 1 hour and 20 minute. Dude, this is a 1 hour and 20 minute video, and in this video, the authors of the book are interviewed. But dude, I'm telling you, this is one of the former prime ministers of Israel, and then
President.
and this guy, they talk about a lot about this guy in the book, Josie Bardi. This guy fucking his son created the first messaging system in the world, and they sold it for $400 million back in year 1999, dude.
Nice.
So and it came from Israel, dude. And his fucking son made this app, and he had like what was it, 500 million users, man. Back then, like they had it had the most traction among any other startup in the world. And then the company of the is called CGI, and also it's called let me see, it's called Josie Bardi. Yeah. And then his son, so he invested in so many companies. This guy he's a billionaire, dude. I'm pretty sure he's a billionaire. And then his son Ari Bardi is the creator.
ICQ.
Yeah, ICQ, exactly.
Crazy. I use ICQ. I used to use ICQ when I was like 17, 18, man. That was the means of communication. That's crazy. I didn't know that he was the one who created ICQ.
Yeah, dude, Israeli, all the companies that Israeli, you know, Waze, you hear about Waze?
Which one? Waves? Oh, Waze. Yeah. The GPS thing. Yeah. Okay, it's crazy ICQ, man. Like ICQ, remember? Have you ever used ICQ before? Have you used it when we were 1 year? No. So the thing with ICQ is like your name was to be a number. So there were no like tag in name or anything like that. You just had a number, and you like find the person by their number, and the number that I had, I still use it as my like number for like passcodes and shit. It's crazy, man. Huh? Dude, it's a pin code for my credit card. I'm not gonna share it here.
Dude. 4 later?
No, the number. Well, I used the first 4 letters, but the number was like 10 letters or something. Yeah, dude.
I use my telephone, the Colombian telephone, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I use it as a pin number too for a lot of stuff. Right?
Yeah.
It's funny though. Yeah, dude, man, I'm telling you, watch that documentary. I'm telling you, and then you read this book. I'm telling you, and you're gonna be blown away. Your mind's gonna change. Next year, I'm trying to Israel. I want to go to Israel. And there's an Israeli guy that I know of. He lives in Bermuda and in Barbados. He moved to Barbados just to relax from Tel Aviv. But he's saying he goes there every single summer. I'm gonna go there. Dude, like Israel is insane. These people are water independent. It's the only nation that's water independent in a desert. They have like mastered the art of desalination.
Yeah.
They don't need water from anybody else. These people are the best like fucking culture right now in the world. Dude, in 60 years have done more than any other fucking nation. In 60 years, dude. And nobody's talking about it. So like nobody in the media talks about it. Dude, all the mainstream media is garbage, man. Nobody talks about Israel, how the world has to follow Israel.
Yeah.
In their technology steps and culture. And these people were starving. They say like people after World War II, they were going to Israel and they were no food, they were rationing water, rationing electricity, rationing food, everything. And the first thing that they did when you got down to Israel, if you were a Jew, they will give you an Israeli citizenship right away. And the second thing, they will give you a rifle because you were fighting against all these Arab nations. Everybody wanted to destroy Israel. So in the book, it talks about how these people were building an
united,
war with the entire world and building an economy at the same time, dude. It's like, what the hell? And it's all about like how to execute and start up to do it. So these books will give you an understanding how to build anything, like building a nation, building a business, building a family, dude. It's like so insane, man. It's like so much information. I was blown away. So like the last month, I was like been reading books here, and I was like blown away. I was like, holy crap, I need to start implementing all these ideas. So I got Kindle. This is where I downloaded the book Startup Nation. But yeah, it's in a PDF file. So I downloaded the PDF file and I just like transfer it into Kindle. I mean, I didn't pay for the book, but I'm gonna transfer.
Classic.
The book. It's like it's insane, dude.
That's pretty cool, man. Maybe I should read it next. Because I want to remember that book that Juan proposed to us, the Millionaire Fast Lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that book is actually pretty cool as well, dude. I just read it like that, but that book is like the book that the way you describe the book from Rabbi is it's like a life advice in a way, business oriented life advice, but it's all interconnected in a way. But that book, The Millionaire Fast Lane, is just business and entrepreneurship, man. It's like and it gives like some specific examples. Yeah, dude. So
what was it called?
The Millionaire Fast Lane. And he talks about, so basically he talks about three kinds of people, where you have people, and he divides them onto the set of mentalities that they have as compared to like how they think about money. So the first people would be the pedestrians, basically the people who walk, and it's basically those people who don't care about tomorrow and just live day by day, and they spend everything from their paycheck, and like you only live once kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And then he talks about some pitfalls of that. The second type is the slow laners. These are the people who were taught like go to college, get an education, get a degree. You're gonna get paid comparing to the degree that you have. So if you want to get paid more, you need a higher degree kind of stuff. It's based on qualifications. And he talks about the pitfalls of that, how you cannot really scale that because you're still getting paid by the hour, and regardless of how professional you are in the industry, you're still bound by the time. So time is the thing that you cannot escape. And then he talks about the Fast Lane Millionaire. I will tell you more about that book because it's like another topic. It's like another hour. But one of the things that was fascinating to me is he talks about the different startups, that different industries that it's better to open your company in, because he talks about basically the goal of everybody is to have a passive income, right? So you're not bound by time. You spend as little time as possible on the company, but it gives you as much profit as possible. So you're not really working 9 to 5 doing that job without, it doesn't depend. So basically the goal is to have a company where you just appear once a week, you set it so it works automatically, so you don't have to spend that much time really on it. And he explains what kind of industries actually are the most lucrative for that. And he also talks about different multipliers. So I just wanted to tell you about the multipliers. So basically he tells how the different companies, they are valued differently. So if you are in the industry of technology, and let's say I don't remember the exact numbers, I have to go through the notes that I have here, but basically he talks about how if you have an internet company or computer company, and let's say you make $1 million per year of the net profit, your company is worth 14 times of what you make. So your company is now worth $14 million. But if you open the restaurant company and you make the same $1 million per year, your company is only worth twice as of what you make. So it's your restaurant is actually worth $2 million. So and everything is in between. He gives those multipliers. So depending on what industry.
Okay, I'm gonna read this book because I'm really curious, because cryptocurrencies don't make any money and they value so much money, dude.
Yeah, dude.
This is a different fucking multiplier, dude.
Yeah.
I'm saying your internet is fucking insane. People don't understand it. And it's because the network effect, because money doesn't have boundaries. Most companies have boundaries because of the money, dollar or Colombian peso here and there. But the cryptocurrencies have no boundaries, so that's why I think the multiplier is getting higher.
Yeah.
That's why everybody's criticizing not making money. But that's why I'm looking at these other companies that are making actually money.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap, you are making money when there's no freaking market right now.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to position myself on those companies.
Yeah, dude. And he also talks about like what industries kind of have the most potential for the passive income, where you have to spend less time, but you get most buck out of it. And he determines like 5 industries that have the most potential. So these are computer/internet systems, these are rental systems, these are content creation and distribution systems, which is like blogging, when you create something like a blog, but then it's evergreen, so it lives forever and it still brings you money even though you don't have to do anything. And like the 4th one I forgot, but the 5th one is the human resources system. So the human resources is the least I mean, it's still like in a profitable category, but it's least lucrative among those 5 because it involves humans, because you have to manage humans and it's fucking crazy. Like you have to like deal with humans and it's like unbearable. And then he talks about a lot of people that think that they're entrepreneurs, that think that they create a business, but they actually create another 9 to 5. So for example, if you become a part of franchise and you open another McDonald's, you're kind of a business owner, but at the same time you're not, because you just follow the example and you cannot scale that shit, man. So he talks about that. So if you want to become a business owner, you cannot be a part of franchise. You only can create a franchise and then you can be like entrepreneur and stuff like that. And he also, dude, like there is a lot of like very specific stuff that he talks about. And he also talks about like all those authors, all those writers that create books, that sell whole books, like how to become rich quick and shit like that. And he talks about that a lot of guys who create those books, they actually become rich because of those books, man. And it's like they preach something that they don't use, and that's like. And he talks about, he mentions Robert Kiyosaki. It's funny, but he doesn't mention his name. He's like, did Robert Kiyosaki get rich because of rich dad poor dad, or did he get rich because of that real estate? Because maybe he got some money off the real estate, but his capital blew up because of that get rich, that book, man. And it's like, and he frowns upon basically, because he actually made business and he made his money by not that book, but he opened the website for like limousine company, and then he opened some other shit. So he basically really an entrepreneur by heart. So whatever he preaches, he actually went through all of that, and that's what, like, he's very honest about that shit. And another thing, dude, yeah, he's pretty, like, the book is like, I was like, wow, if you follow, like, it's very specific. That's what I like about it. There are many pitfalls when you're trying to open the company and you open the business. You might get so how do you say, you might get so exuberant about opening the company that you start lying to yourself that you are now the business owner and stuff like that, but you're actually not, because you just still slave, you're still an employee of your own. Yeah, exactly, you're still an employee to the time in your own business. And he explores that topic, man. It's a pretty cool book, man. You should read that shit too.
There's a lot of books, man.
Yeah. Well, that would, like, I'll read the Rabbi, or I'll download the audiobook probably, but I'll stick to the Millionaire Fast Lane, because it's so specific. You just follow step by step, and it kind of gets you, like, you can like. For me, like, opening the hostel business, that's the rental system right there, and I can scale that, and it's easier for me to scale that, and it's like that I see the potential there.
All that stuff, like inside out, you already.
Yeah, dude. Another thing that he talked about, pitfalls. One of the pitfalls. If somebody, speaking about Ty Lopez and Gary Vaynerchuk and all those dudes, you know how they propose like systems, get rich quick and shit like that, sign up for my seminar and you're gonna be like blessed in millions and shit like that. He talks like, if it comes out on the internet and people trying to allure you to sign up for this get rich schemes, that means that it already doesn't work. The only way these systems work is for those few people who got in early, made their millions, and now they cannot make millions. They allure another people into like a social networking system basically, and they get money off them. But the stuff that they preach already doesn't work because the market already oversaturated with that stuff. So he says that whenever you see a potential, whenever you see an ad on Facebook or anywhere where it tells you sign up for the seminar and you're gonna get rich quick, that means that if it's a low entry business, if it's a business where everybody can participate in, that means that it's already oversaturated business, and there is no way you can make money. Those
That's a good way of putting it. Like, if it is a really easy entry business,
it's already you cannot make money there. And like when they sign up for Amway and those like the the Herbalife stuff, you know, there's the networking model, and they're like, they sign up for seminars and they see like a few people on stage when they preach that they make millions per year and stuff like that, and they ride luxury cars and stuff. Yeah, exactly. They might have made their millions because they're the first ones, but ask people around you how much money they make, and I doubt they make this much money. I doubt they can even barely survive, man. So like, so he debunks that shit like in a very vigorous way, man. You should read that stuff. Very interesting, man. For real.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna read that book for sure, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, I think we had a good conversation, man. It's been like
2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. I told you you're gonna have a 3-hour session almost, man, because it doesn't go other way, man. Dude, and it's only 2 of us. So just imagine if we had 4 people talking, and everybody, if we had Justin and Jason there, man, it would have been crazy. So next time, get prepared for like half a day stuff, man.
Yeah, we gotta. Well, next time we'll get someone else on board.
Yeah.
Man, well, it's nice talking to you, man. I'm pretty sure you gotta do stuff. I gotta do stuff. And,
yeah.
I'm gonna check out those books, and I'll send you the list of the books.
Yeah, and do me a favor, please upload whatever you recorded on your screen to Google Drive so I can connect it on my end, and I'll post it on YouTube, and we'll share it on Crypto World and among people. All right. Cheers, man.
Email?
Yeah, I'll text you.
Send me your email.
Yeah.
Your email and I'll upload it.
Yeah. All right, man. Peace out. See you next time. Say hi to Sam. All right, bye. Bye.
Take care.